Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel. My name is Dave. I am your host.
Aha! And hello to you, Dave. Hello to all our friends at home. My name is Daisy. I am your partner. It is so good to see you all today.
It is great to be here, Daisy. Today we have a very special lesson. It is a long lesson because it is very important. Today we're talking about feelings.
Yes, feelings. Feelings are what we have inside us. Every day we have many feelings. Sometimes we feel one way in the morning and a different way at night.
That is true. Learning to talk about feelings is a very big step for English learners. It is not just about grammar, it is about talking to people and making friends.
I agree. Before we start our big lesson, I have a small favor to ask. Please share this video with your friends. If you have a friend who is learning English, send this to them. Also, please subscribe to Teach Easy English. Click the like button. We love to read your comments. We want to know what you think.
Okay, Daisy, let's start. This is a very long topic. Let's look at the first question. Why? Why do we talk about feelings? Sometimes it is hard to say how we feel. Sometimes it is a little bit difficult.
Yes, it can be hard, Dave, but it is very, very good for your mind. We call this mental health. When you talk about your feelings, you feel better. It's like opening a small door in your heart and letting the air out.
I like that. Opening a door. It is not good to keep every feeling inside. If we keep feelings inside, we might feel bad later.
Exactly. And when we talk about feelings, it helps with communication. If I tell you my feelings, you understand me better. We can be better friends.
That is true. If I am happy and I tell you, Daisy, I am so happy today, you know why I am smiling. You can be happy with me.
And it helps with family, too. If I feel a bit sad and I tell my brother, I am sad today, my brother can help. He can say, Oh, I am sorry. Do you want some tea? Can I help you?
That makes a bridge between people, a bridge of friendship.
Yes, a bridge. So, talking about feelings is good for our brain. It's good for our friends. It's good for our families. It makes us feel closer to each other.
Okay, Daisy, let's start with the basic words. These are the words for beginners. We use these every single day.
Let's start with a very famous word. The word is happy.
Happy. Everyone likes to be happy. You are happy when you smile. You are happy when you laugh. Daisy, what makes you happy?
I am happy when the sun is shining. I am happy when I eat good food. And I am happy right now because we are teaching English.
Me too. I am happy to see our students learning. Now, what is the opposite of happy? It is sad.
Yes, sad. You feel sad when you want to cry. Maybe you are sad because it is raining and you cannot go to the park. Or maybe you are sad because you miss your family.
I feel sad when I lose my favorite pen. It is a small sad, but it is still sad.
The next word is angry. This is a very strong feeling. When you are angry, your face might get red. You might want to shout.
I feel angry when I miss the bus. If I run to the bus and the door closes, I feel angry. I have to wait 20 minutes for the next bus.
That is a very good example. Now let's talk about tired. This is a feeling in your body and your mind.
Tired. I know this feeling. After a long day of work, I feel tired. I want to sit on my sofa. I want to close my eyes. I want to sleep.
Yes, when your energy is very low, you are tired. The next word is excited. This is the opposite of tired.
Excited is a high energy feeling. You feel excited when something good is going to happen. Maybe you're going on a holiday tomorrow. You feel excited. You cannot sit still.
Aha! I feel excited when I go to a new city. I feel like there are butterflies in my stomach.
The next word is scared. This is when you are afraid.
Maybe you see a big, scary dog, or maybe you are watching a spooky movie at night. You feel scared. You want to hide.
I feel scared when I hear a strange noise in my kitchen at night. I think, what is that? My heart beats very fast.
And the last basic word is nervous. Nervous is a bit like scared, but it's different.
You feel nervous when you have to do something important. Maybe you have a big test at school, or maybe you have to speak English to a new person. You feel a little bit shaky. That's nervous.
Dave, I have a very important tip for our listeners. It's about grammar.
Oh, is it a hard tip?
No, it is very easy. When we talk about feelings, we can say I feel or we can say I am.
So I can say, I feel happy and I am happy?
Yes, both are correct. I feel is about what is happening inside you right now. I am is just a fact about you.
Does it matter which one I use?
No, it does not matter. In casual English, they are the same. You can say I am tired or I feel tired. Both mean you want to sleep.
That's great. It's easy for our learners. Just pick one and use it. Okay, Daisy, we know the basic words. Now let's learn some big words. These words help us explain our feelings better.
The first word is frustrated. This is a very common feeling. It's when you try to do something, but it's not working.
Aha! I feel frustrated when I try to fix my computer. I follow the instructions, I click the buttons, but the computer does not work. I feel frustrated because I am trying, but I am failing.
Exactly. The next word is overwhelmed. This is a very important word for busy people.
Overwhelmed is when you have too much work. You have 10 things to do, but you only have 1 hour. You feel like a big mountain is on top of you.
Students often feel overwhelmed. Too many exams, too much homework. It's a very heavy feeling.
The next word is anxious. This is like nervous, but it's stronger.
Anxious is when you worry a lot about the future. You think, what if I fail? Or what if something goes wrong? Your stomach feels tight.
I feel anxious before a job interview. I think about it all night. I cannot sleep because I am worrying.
Now, let's have a good feeling. The word is proud.
Proud. This is a beautiful feeling. You feel proud when you do something very well. If you study hard and you pass your English test, you feel proud of yourself.
And you can be proud of other people too. I'm proud of our students because they are working so hard to learn a new language.
That is true. The next word is lonely. This is a sad feeling. It is when you are alone and you want to be with people.
Sometimes you can be in a room with many people, but you still feel lonely because you don't have a friend to talk to. It's okay to feel this way sometimes.
The next word is confident. This is a very strong feeling.
Confident is when you believe in yourself. You think, I can do this. When you know all the answers to a question, you feel confident to raise your hand.
I like feeling confident. It makes me feel like a superhero.
And the last word for this part is disappointed. This is when you hope for something good, but it does not happen.
For example, you want to go to a concert. You go to buy a ticket, but the tickets are all gone. You feel disappointed. You are sad because your plan failed. Daisy, feelings are not always the same. Sometimes I am a little sad. Sometimes I am very sad. How do we say that?
We use helper words to show the strength.
Like a bit?
Yes, you can say a bit or a little bit. This is for a small feeling. I'm a bit tired. It means you are a little tired, but you are okay.
And what about big feelings?
We use words like very, really, or extremely. I'm extremely excited means you have a lot of energy.
Is there a word for super big sadness?
Yes, you can say completely devastated. This means you are so sad that your heart feels broken. It's a very, very strong word.
So we can use a little bit, very, really, extremely.
Exactly. This adds color to your English. It helps people understand exactly how you feel.
Okay, we know how to talk about ourselves, but we are not alone. How do we ask our friends about their feelings?
You can ask, "How are you?" But this is very simple. Many people say, "I'm fine," even if they are sad.
So, how do we ask a better question?
You can ask, "How are you really feeling?" This shows you are a good friend. You want to hear the truth.
That is a good one. What if my friend looks a bit sad?
You can ask, "Do you want to talk about it?" This is very kind. It gives them a choice. They can say yes or they can say no.
I also like the question, is something on your mind?
Aha! That is a great question, Dave. On your mind means, are you thinking about a problem? It's a gentle way to ask if someone is worried.
If a friend tells me their feelings, what do I say? I want to be a good friend.
We use empathy. Empathy means you try to understand their feeling.
What are some phrases for empathy?
You can say, "That must be really hard." This shows you understand that their situation is difficult.
That must be really hard. I will remember that. What else?
You can say, "I understand how you feel." This means you know that feeling too. It makes the person feel safe.
Another good one is, I'm here for you. This is very powerful. It means you are not alone. I will help you.
And don't forget to say, "Thanks for sharing that with me." When someone tells you a feeling, it's a secret from their heart. You should say thank you for their trust.
Let's practice. Daisy, imagine you had a bad day at work. What do you say?
I would say, "Dave, I'm feeling a bit frustrated and tired today. My computer was very slow and I have too much work."
And I would say, oh, Daisy, that must be really hard. I'm here for you.
Aha, perfect empathy, Dave. Now imagine you are going on a big trip tomorrow. What do you say?
I am so excited. I'm going to Hawaii. I feel confident that I packed everything in my bag.
That's great. Now, what about a sad situation, like a breakup or losing a pet?
This is hard. I might say, my heart is broken. I feel very lonely and disappointed.
And a friend would say, "I'm so sorry. Thanks for sharing that with me."
Work is different from home. Can we talk about feelings at work?
Yes, but we use professional words. If you have too much stress for a long time, you can say, "I'm feeling burned out."
Burned out, like a candle with no more fire.
Exactly. It means you have no more energy to work. You can also say, "I need a mental break." This means you need 5 minutes to relax your brain.
These words are very polite. You can say them to your boss or your manager. Daisy, do people in every country talk about feelings the same way?
No, Dave. Culture is very important. In some countries, people keep feelings inside. They think it is better to be quiet.
But what about English-speaking countries like the US or the UK?
In those places, it's often good to talk about feelings. People think it shows you are honest. It helps people trust you at work and at home.
So when our students learn these words, they are also learning how to talk to people in a new way.
Exactly. It is a part of the English culture to be open about your heart.
We are at the end of our big lesson. Daisy, do you have any final tips for our amazing learners?
Yes, I have 2 tips. Tip number 1, keep a feelings journal.
A journal, like a diary?
Yes, every night write 1 or 2 sentences in English. Write, "Today I felt happy because I had pizza." Or, "Today I felt a bit tired." This is great practice.
I love that. My tip is stop saying I am fine.
Why?
Because I am fine is boring. Try to use a new word. Tomorrow, if someone asks, how are you? Say, I am a bit tired, or I am very excited. Use the words we learned today.
That is a great challenge, Dave. Practice is the only way to get better. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are how we learn.
We are very, very proud of you for watching this long video. You are a great student.
Yes, you are. Thank you for joining Teach Easy English today. Please don't forget to subscribe. Share this video with your friends, hit the like button.
And we want to hear from you. We have a question for the comments. How are you feeling right now? Tell us one word.
We will read every comment, we promise.
See you in the next lesson, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.